unmute us. Rightio, guys, we're into our second set of games of the day, and this is Imperial versus Warwick. Theory, have you seen any of these teams before, and what can you tell me about them?
Not seen either of them recently, I'm very unsure, but I know they're all both quality teams. Imperial finishing third in the last tournament, and Warwick finishing sixth. So we should have a good game here. I believe they're the top seeds out of their group right now.
So we have another top seed game again for you guys, so this should be close. Last set of games won by Cardiff, and they beat Fragsock 2-0, so that's 2 points going into their group stage. We're running an OGN style group stage going into brackets later on next week, where we'll have the playoffs. It'll be the gold, silver, and bronze brackets depending on where you come in your group stage. I believe Imperial is the left side. I'm just tailing our streamer. So yeah, I mean, well played. So well played to Cardiff last two games. Well done. They picked up 2 points. So it'll be interesting to see whether we have another clean sweep here between Warwick and Imperial, or we have a sort of a draw, 1-1.
And the bands coming in here are Jarvan and Nivea Lee Sin. Very different bands to the last couple of games. Lee Sin, obviously an incredibly strong early game jungler. If you're playing a weaker game jungler, you can run in there and pick up early first bloods. And he was actually picked up, I believe, once, was it, in the first game, I think. And he did a pretty good job of protecting that Vayne, as far as I can remember.
Yeah, and Lee Sin was banned out because I've seen Fiji play Lee Sin before. I think they were playing against Manchester, so Manchester were running a Xerath that game, and Lee Sin did really well at trying to shut the Xerath down. Unfortunately, Manchester went on to win that game and did beat out Fiji, but he did have a brilliant he just showed that he had a good set of skills on that Lee Sin, doing a really good job of using the ward jumps to his advantage. Orianna is being picked up for purple side here. Orianna's been one of the bigger picks of our entire set of tournaments, really. And I don't know if you can echo this theory in the games that you cast on the other channel, but Orianna has been picked a lot.
Yeah. Orianna and Ari, both huge mid laners. The damage that both of them are kicking out right now is just incredible. And you often see this matchup where one team will take Orianna, one team will take Ari, and they have such a different play style, but for some reason you see this matchup over and over and over again.
And what do you know about the matchup theory? Because in my eyes, Ari should win it, but it's a bit skill-based.
It is, and I think it's one of these things where, you know, you've got that huge destructive ultimate from Orianna. So if you start to pressure that dragon early, get some global gold, and get a bit of a lead, the harass on Ari is so big that she can never really commit to a full engage with her ultimate.
Yeah, and the thing about Ari having Spirit Rush is that she can juke Orianna's ultimate fairly easily if she's played right. I mean, yeah. Jarvan is another ban I've seen quite a lot of in this tournament specifically. They've gone for two jungle bans and a casting. I've just seen someone in chat saying he can play jungle casting. While I would say that possibly that's a targeted ban, I'm not sure jungle casting is one of the better options to take in a competitive match. Maybe in solo queue, but I've never seen a jungle casting work out particularly well. I don't know about you, Theory.
No, I can't say it's been successful myself. Like, link as a video and prove us wrong by all means. Renekton coming out as a pick from top lane here. We saw Renekton already in 2 games, and it keeps on popping up in the LCS. Why is he so strong at Scoundrel?
Renekton has this ability to lane bully really hard. His abilities have got good gap closing. They've got a good sustain on his Kolomik. He's got a good stun, and all of his abilities become stronger with his resource, which is Fury or Rage. It's Fury or Rage. And they all become stronger when you get over 50% of this. And so basically, he's resourceless to an extent that he has a constantly regenerating resource that he gets on auto attacks. He has good sustain. He's got a stun. He's got a gap closer, and he can build tanky and do a lot of damage. He's like an all-round decent champion for the top lane. But we have seen him every game, and every game he's got every game he's getting beaten. So I mean, what do you think there?
Well, I think in the last couple of games, it's actually been the rest of the team that have perhaps let the Renekton down. He's done a pretty good job of bullying the enemy top laner. However, the jungler ganked him time after time. So I think it's really important that while you're bullying and taking the lead in CS, you've got to keep up with that warding on Renekton. He often pushes the lane really well with his slice and dice, and because of that, you're often at the stage where you're just sitting behind the enemy team's turret, and you're in a really vulnerable spot for ganks.
Interesting pickup. The Koreans favour this a lot. Wukong.
Yeah.
Can do really well. I mean, I don't know if you've heard this turn of phrase that the Koreans use, but for when you say someone who's got good damage in lane, you tend to say it's like a Wukong all-in level 2. Because Wukong has one of the highest all-in level 2s in the game with his Nimbus Strike and his whatever his Q is. Can't remember what that is for the life of me.
No. I know what you're saying though.
Yeah,
he hits
it's Crushing Blow. It's Crushing Blow, and Crushing Blow has been given a range now, and also it has Armor Shred. So, like, Wukong has this ability to all in someone at level 2, and if you can get the auto attacks and the Crushing Blow and the Nimbus Strike off, you can do a hell of a lot of damage. And he's one of those champions because Renekton suffers from a moderately early weak level 1 to 3. Renekton needs to get all of his abilities to be able to chain them to do the damage. If Wukong can all in Renekton at level 2, he'll win the lane outright. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. You know that you can't argue with that damage. I think another advantage Wukong's got over the Renekton is his ability to dodge the ganks. You know, he's got a invis that if that Malphite walks into lane and slows him, you know, you can't spot where he's going. He can just walk away, juke to minions, and he's got this really good ability of escaping ganks. On the other hand, you've got a Zac comes in, knocks you up with a jump, lots of damage coming in from that Wukong, and perma-slow pretty much from the Zac, especially if he's got the red buff on him. So, provided the Renekton wards properly, it's going to be down to sort of one-on-one trades in the lane. However, I think Wukong has the advantage here in terms of his jungler's going to have a much easier job of ganking.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is I don't really rave about Malphite jungle, like you were saying. He's only got his seismic shard to slow. Apart from that, he has to wait till 6 to get any form of decent gank off, whereas Zac can practically do the same thing that Malphite can do from level 2. Because his elastic slingshot has the knockup that the Malphite ultimate knockup has. It doesn't quite have the damage, but I mean, really, Malphite jungle is just maybe they're just taking because they want the ultimate and they're not looking to get early ganks off in lane.
Yeah, it's that wombo combo coming in from Malphite or Orianna. They're going to just try and deal with the lanes 1v1, not worry too much about the early game ganking. I'd have thought warding up properly and just making it to that mid game so they can get that objective control with the wombo combo, the Graves ultimate, and that Lulu is brilliant for the Malphite. You know, he's got a triple knockup right there. If he gets into the middle of 3 or 4 people, they're going to have a really tough time of escaping that damage.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's decent really for the purple team come post 6. I think they have the better sort of bursty team comp, I would say, because I wouldn't say that they've got the better all-round team fight, because the Wukong ultimate basically can crush any team fight unless he's behind and gets burst really quickly. But you've got to think about it this way. I mean, Orianna ultimate, Malphite ultimate, any sort of stun, any sort of slow can really hurt the Wukong ultimate getting into position. But with his deceive or his decoy even. With decoy, he can kind of put himself into position quite easily unless there's a pink ward down. It's just going to be basically, again, I think this is going to be a bit of a lane battle. I think it's going to be who turns out on top in the lanes. Because, I mean, interestingly enough, AD carry taking heal.
Yeah, and obviously you haven't got that ignite coming down from the Lulu, so it's going to be perfectly adequate. But that barrier, I just think it's so much stronger. You know, you've never got the risk of ignite being on top of you. You can soak up a lot more damage, and fine. You're not going to have as much lane sustain with the barrier, but there's always that threat of it being there.
Yeah, and to be honest, the heal is an odd one for me because I like it, and it can obviously heal both you and your support in ganks, but it's got a long cooldown. It's got a really long cooldown, and it becomes less and less useful. I mean, it's decent mid-game team fights because you get a good amount of heal coming out from all of your team, but getting into late game doesn't really do that much. And barrier does actually scale pretty well and can heal and protect you against any type of damage. And again, also Graves is considered to be a counter to Ezreal in lane just because he has the gap closer and his true grit, which means that Ezreal poke will have less effect, and Graves can get in there and buckshot if Ezreal is out of position and stuff like that. But overall, I mean, I think that Imperial have the better lanes.
Yeah.
Like, Imperial have the better lanes here. I mean, the only reason I can see heal working for blue team is if they really go ham with their poking early on. But then you're poking a Sona versus a Lulu. Both of them have got ridiculously good poke. Ezreal probably slightly better at poking than Graves, but Graves does have his gap closer from the form of quick draw. He also has a buckshot. But heal's going to lose its effectiveness the longer that you go into this lane, unless they're looking to use it sort of a 1 to 4. I wouldn't be expecting it to be that useful.
Maybe the Ezreal's relying on the fact that Malphite has that weak ganking potential, especially in the bot lane, because it's very hard to get past the wards in order to use your slow effectively and effectively using the ultimate to knock up 2. You know, that's one of those ultimate that's a bit of a surprise. You know, if you're out of position and he suddenly appears from a bush, oh god, what do we do? But at bot lane, you don't have that so much, and maybe it's just taking that heal just to sustain until the Zac can get there. Is worried about that Lulu poke. Is worried about the Graves poke. He just wants to make sure he's on a good amount of health for when that Zac gets there, so the Graves can't turn around and burst him with the ultimate buckshot combo.
And maybe they're looking to be deceptive with the Sona, because obviously Sona has the heal. If you combo a quick Sona heal with the heal from the Ezreal, you can do it to get a deceptive amount of HP back and to turn fights that maybe Graves and Lulu thought they were going to win. Starting items right here, it looks like we're going to get a mirror across the board, bar the Wukong going for a really balls deep Doran's Blade start in the top lane against Renekton's Doran's Shield. I mean, that's 8 damage from champion basic attacks. So you're basically nullifying all 10 damage from the Doran's Blade, and you're just getting the extra health and the extra health per second. So really, Doran's Shield is a great counter to Doran's Blade.
Yeah, definitely. Wukong, obviously, if he gets that early game gank, then that Doran's Blade is going to do quite a bit of damage. And he's obviously not worried about that Malphite. He doesn't want a ward, doesn't need a ward. And they're coming in, collapsing onto this Renekton. Renekton just caught with his pants down. He manages somehow to jump away from that. Maybe it's on Facebook to his girlfriend, maybe his mum was nagging him. I do not know.
Yeah, sorry, I was just dealing with something in chat. It's someone sort of impersonating a Newell member, which is not quite what you want. So yeah, Renekton having to burn his something. Did he burn anything early on? But he did manage to escape with his life, so it's not first blood going out. So that's pretty good in terms of the fact that he
has his flash up somehow.
Yeah,
right there.
So he hasn't had to burn anything. I'm guessing he just took slice and dice early on and managed to get a slice out of there and into the safety of his turret. So actually, not bad from the purple side, because Wukong has burned his ignite, which makes his all in early on a lot less potent. But this is going to be Zac just taking his blue buff. Maybe they were looking to go for the red, but then got caught out. And Ari just sitting there helping out.
Oh, and the Ezreal picking up the red buff right there.
Yeah, that's unfortunately not great for the purple team. They gave away a free buff, but it doesn't mean that Zac's not going to get it unless he now rotates round, which it looks like he is going to go rotate round and try and take away Malphite's red buff. And Malphite's not going to react to this. He looks like he's going to go straight for his blue buff, which means he's giving up the blue buff to the bot lane, which is going to make it really hard for Graves to survive this lane. And it also means that now Malphite's not going to have a red buff, which means his ganking potential is going to be even worse than it was. A mistake from Malphite, I think, there, but we have got a pause coming out. Yeah, a mistake from Malphite, I think, there. I think he should have head with both Renekton and Orianna to catch out the Zac at his red buff. But yeah, what do you think there, Theory?
obviously, somehow that Renekton survives. The charm didn't come off onto the Renekton, it was very late. And so they sacrificed an Ignite, and Renekton burnt nothing there. They then decided to capitalise on that by invading onto the red, but by not dragging it into the bush, that Ezreal landed a decent Q and straight away saw it off. It was just a plethora of errors on both parts right there, and it's going to really cost Malphite. He struggles in early game jungle as it is. Without a blue pull and without a red buff, I don't know how he's going to come back into this versus a Zac.
Yeah, someone in chat's just asking if we could reorder the players on the spectator mode to have the corresponding players compared up against each other. We'll try and get that sorted for you. Unfortunately, the commentators aren't actually streaming. We have a stand-in streamer because we had a lot of people away, so if anything, it's not quite as to what it would usually be. It does look like Zac
just gone down and tried to engage. First blood goes on to Wukong. He just tried to commit too much to that Zac's passive, and the Wukong just jumps in and says, "Hey, what are you doing? It's my friend." And not only does he give up that first blood, that's a wave of about 10 minions that is going to lose right there to the Wukong.
Yeah, Malphite is picking him up, so at least they're not going completely to waste the tower. But again, that is the power of a Wukong level 2. He has got so much damage, and the fact that he can just burn through. It looks like Ezreal is really making advantage of this red buff. He's taken Graves really low, and Graves is level 1, and Lulu is level 1, compared to a level 3 and level 2 of Ezreal. I think they're having a really rough time right now. I think Warwick have made a fatal error with these buff steals.
Yep, already a 10 CS lead on that Ezreal, a Graves of 4 CS, so he's not even going to be able to pick up an item from that back. He's just literally going back to heal. He might pick up a health bot or 2 more. But that Ezreal's still got about a quarter left on that red buff, so even if they come back into lane, it's going to have a level or 2 advantage right here. 2 levels already advantage, should I say. And it's going to be really hard for this Graves to come back into this lane.
Yeah, Wukong just going really hard onto this Renekton in top lane, using that Nimbus Strike, combining it with his crushing blow, getting that armor shred. It actually shreds 30% of your opponent's armor for 3 seconds. Combining that with the 4 seconds of combining that with the 3 to 4 seconds of extra attack damage you get. When using extra attack speed you get when using Nimbus Strike. It's really powerful auto attacks coming out straight after. And Ezreal just really poking this bot lane with the red buff and really making them pay. And Graves is sitting on 8 CS compared to Ezreal's 26. I think Malphite's going to be kicking himself for not smiting their red buff now, because he's really, unfortunately, put his bot lane under the hammer.
Yeah, definitely. Though he's been able to keep up with those levels pretty well. It's been clearing those smaller camps pretty well with his AoE, and he's actually kept his level. And Engage going down onto Orianna at mid. Orianna
yeah, and Engage
speeds buffs away.
A trade going in top lane. It does look like Wukong is trying to survive out this Renekton. Renekton has picked up just a ward and some potions, but he has managed to level up the Cold and Meek to the point where it gets a good amount of sustain from it. Doesn't look like Malphite wants to come to this bot lane. He managed to use Seismic Shard, but that's all he's got, remember. Malphite is a very weak ganking jungler.
And he ran straight past that ward in order to get into this gank. You know, as we said, it's not a good gank until that level 6. So unless that Lulu commits a lot of gold into pink wards, there's not a lot of ganking potential right here.
No one's reacting to this Malphite just sitting in the bot lane. I think Malphite's literally sitting there for the presence of not getting Graves completely zoned. Graves is level 3 to Ezreal's level 4. And it just looks like Malphite's just coming back in and in again. It must be getting really annoying for the Imperial bot lane, but he's doing what he should be doing, really, considering that he put them behind, really. Looks like the Sonar has managed to get a slow debuff onto the Graves. No one is coming in from it, but it does look like Malphite is now moving around to the mid lane. Again, I just think he should be focusing on hitting level 6, because unfortunately, as a Malphite, you're just not going to do anything pre-6, really, and even post-6, you've only got that one ultimate. If you miss it, you mess it up. Your ganks are pretty awful, to be honest. But again, with the AoE damage, it does make him a fairly good clear jungler. But he's not taking that to his advantage. He's 7 CS behind the Zac right now, and actually the Zac's ahead on levels. Zac's going into the top lane again. Wukong really low. He has got his ultimate up, but I think he's going to try and go in. Renekton's taken very low. The Ignite comes up, the Slice and Dice comes out as well, and Ignite on Wukong just takes him down, and that was a good play from Renekton. He knew that he didn't have to do anything more than put his Ignite down to take the Wukong out, and unfortunately Wukong, having got the early lead, not really making the best of it.
And I mean, that's really unfortunate, because he had that first blood, And what's he done with it? He's not been trading right. The Doran's shield start has been really beneficial for the Renekton. Out the trades, every time Renekton's life steal has kept him up on HP, and he's optimized his build by just spamming lots of pots at once.
Yeah, and actually,
I'll invest. Go on.
Actually, in the bot lane, we missed a bit of an engage. Sona taken down to about 5% HP. Graves wasting his flash. Sorry, Ezreal wasting his flash to try and take the Graves out. And Lulu and Lulu still has her up, and so does the Sona. But it does look like actually Graves is now bullying out the Ezreal, despite having that ridiculous early advantage. And actually, is now caught up in CS. Look how much CS this Graves has managed to come back from the deficit that he was at.
Yeah, exactly. The only real difference we see now in teams is this Malphite and this Zac. Zac being level 6 while the Malphite's still on level 5, so he's still to pick up the buff yet. Ezreal tries to land a sneaky ulti onto the blue, but just got the timings wrong as that Malphite took it a bit later.
Yeah, Malphite actually picking up boots and abilities, so looking to run into lanes and just maybe get off a sneak ultimate or a sneak smite card. He has just hit level 6, so he's now got mobility boots and is level 6, but did just waste smite on taking the blue, not handing the blue over to Orianna, which means that Ahri has a blue buff and Orianna does not. So Orianna is just going to have to sort of suck it up and try and survive the lane. Ahri is now in a position where she can actually do really well against the Orianna, because she can miss Duke her ultimate quite easily. Orianna did just trying to zone her out though, just trying to make the best of the situation. Renekton going really quite hard onto Wukong, forcing him to use decoy. Again, Malphite just picking up this red buff. He might head back now and then look to gank somewhere, but he's going to take the golden goblins first. Renekton really going in on this Wukong again. This Wukong's not quite playing the matchup as he should have done really early on, and is now just sort of losing out, to be honest.
He's committing too much to getting a minion on the top lane. If you can trade some damage, make the enemy back off a little bit, and then take the 3 minions, you're much better off. He's going into the minions, picking up 1 minion, but trading off 2 health pots worth of health right there.
Yeah, and there's an engagement mid lane. Ahri getting onto the Orianna. Orianna gets a good shockwave down, but again they just sort of went toe for toe. Orianna forcing her ultimate out of herself, Ahri still having hers. Both of them now sitting on about, well, 50% HP, but Ahri has health pots and Orianna does not.
No. Orianna more than likely gonna look to take her back soon. But this Malphite,
and she managed to counter, and Orianna going into the Spirit Rush. Ahri going into the Spirit Rush onto the Orianna, and I think possibly just getting away with it and getting the kill onto the Orianna. Malphite coming in with an ultimate onto Ezreal, managed to hit the Sona, to take her down. Graves is very, very low, and unfortunately just gets kicked out by the minions, and Graves just hit level 6, and that level 6 saved his life.
It did indeed. And Graves actually made an error there. He was so wanting to get some life steal off a minion there. He shot a minion and gave that Ezreal for an auto attack. Luckily, he just walks away with about 50 HP after that level.
Zac coming in onto the Graves. Oh wow, really great play. Sorry, I thought you were about to start casting that, so I shut up. But no, really well played from the Graves there. He uses quick draw to get away. Zac then burns flash. Zac then counter flashes to try and get onto him. Lulu just gets enraged, and because she'd hit 6 during that fight as well, still had her wild growth up and managed to get the wild growth onto Graves. There you are, guys. Casting for that fight about 10 seconds too late. But really well played from the Graves and the Lulu right there. But yeah, I mean, Renekton just winning out this top lane. He's 75 CS to the Wukong 60, so it's not too bad. But he is, to be honest, in terms of the ascendancy and lane dominance right there. So really well played from him. And to get a double kill on that bot lane, now Malphite kind of makes the Malphite pick worth it, really. And now that he's got those kills, he's now going to be quite ahead of the game in terms of being ahead of Zac. Looks like they're trying to chase down this Ahri who wants to go up onto the Renekton, but I think Malphite has her picked out. He just jukes out the charm and manages to get a seismic shard off onto her and just forces her back. And Renekton now knows he's probably safe, so he's going to keep going on to this Wukong. Orianna just farming out the race. She's currently sitting just a little bit behind the Ahri on CS. She's got a Chalice of Harmony, probably building that into Athene's Unholy Grail, which is a pretty standard item for Orianna, to be honest, as her first item. But then Ahri's doing the same. Ahri probably looking to build that into a Deathfire Grass. Oddly enough, not building a Deathfire Grass. So looking for the Athene's Unholy Grail. Pretty good item for a heavy cooldown based champion. Because it obviously gives you the magic resist for the mid lane, the cooldown reduction and the AP, and the mana regen, to be honest, which is pretty decent against someone who can't secure blue buffs. So maybe Orianna maybe thinking that she's not going to get her blue buff, but I'm assuming the next blue buff will be given over to her because Malphite probably just took that last one to hit level 6. Does look like Graves is now winning out this bottom lane, but the Sona is just actually decided to start leveling her heal up and getting a bit of heal onto this Ezreal. Lulu being forced back actually. Malphite has got his ultimate up and is sitting in a pink warded brush. But unfortunately the lane isn't going anywhere near it. Renekton picks up a kill onto Wukong on the top lane. Didn't actually see what happened there because we were following the bot lane. Wukong did use his ultimate. Didn't quite get the kill. Didn't quite get the damage off to finish off, and Zac tries to finish him off as well, but Renekton managed to flash out, has his dominance up, and manages to get away. So really well played from the Renekton there. He's really doing a good job of just winning out this top lane, and instead of building any damage, he's going for the straight tank build that we often see a lot of Renektons pick up. What do you think, Theory, about how this top lane's going?
Well, this Wukong keeps on overcommitting. I think you missed that, but the Wukong there, again, was very low on health. He kept him chasing. Renekton sliced and diced back through.
Ari coming to the spot lane, and just as a pause comes out, oh my word. And that's another pause, I think, for the top lane, because I think he could be lagging.
Yeah, quite possibly. He keeps on overcommitting with very little health, and the Zac just doesn't have any real damage to kill the Renekton and after he's traded that kill. So the Renekton's just running out and taking a really good lead here. 20 CS ahead now, 1 kill ahead. But he's got that Sunfire Cape, so the Wukong no longer able to keep on shelling out that damage onto the Renekton.
Yeah, Renekton doing a really good job of having lost first blood, isn't giving away anything. He's not giving away an inch to this Wukong, because Wukong's not going to be that snowbally Wukong that you often see in... so it's not going to be... in a game, in a position where, you know, Wukong can snowball out of control, roam from lane to lane, and use his ultimate to get some crazy ganks off. It does look like we're getting a, reconnect coming out from the Renekton. So hopefully we'll be back underway soon. What do you think is going to happen from now on? I mean, Warwick have the slight gold advantage. We're about to see a gank in the bot lane. I don't know how this is going to come off considering the pause is coming out. Ezreal and Sona are a little bit behind. Sona doesn't quite have the range. She has flash, but she doesn't have the mana to get crescendo up, I don't think.
Well, I believe the Arya's 1 Spirit Rush up, am I right in saying?
I think she has 2 Spirit Rushes up.
2.
The Unpause is coming down, so we'll just see what's going to happen right now. Ari goes in, lands the charm onto Graves, manages to get him off, and crescendo comes out. Sona forced to use a flash to use it, and that's a free kill over to the Ari, giving her a good 2-kill advantage over the Orianna in mid lane.
Yeah, and I think the Ari wasn't planning on roaming at the start. You know, building that chalice kind of means that you're worried about the Orianna with her passive pushing down turrets. You want to stay in lane as long as you can, trade with her, kill her, and then push her turret. However, the Zac's not actually doing a very good job of ganking right now. He has 1 assist, and he's capitalising with a little bit more farm, but it's not worth it for versus the Malphite who picked up 2 kills.
Blue team actually saw Malphite trying to bait out a gank from top lane, but going toe-to-toe with the Wukong and losing with Renekton in the backline. They saw him have to go back, so now they're just going to take a free dragon from him, and that's the problem with doing that kind of thing with your jungler. Sort of putting your jungler invisible in lanes far away from objectives, because you know that if your jungler is close, you can secure them. Renekton's still going really hard onto this Wukong. He's picked up that Sunfire Cape now, so when Wukong tries to go toe-to-toe with him, he will be having that magic damage in the background. It's 40 magic damage per second, and currently he's sitting at about, well, 300-400 gold ahead of the Wukong, which really will only go further out of control, and the only reason he's kept up with it is because of the global objective that was just picked up by his team there. Graves taking a bit of damage from the Ezreal. He's only 3 CS behind. Ezreal actually opting for a blue build. Looking like he's going, well, double longsword there. I'm not quite sure, maybe going Brutalizer, or possibly just looking to finish off his Mura mana into a Vampiric Scepter.
I dare say he was going Spirit of the Elder Lizard. Or
yeah, I mean, I don't know. He hasn't picked up the prerequisite Spirit Stone for it yet, so yeah. Unsure as to like, I'm not sure as to if he would probably be going for it. I mean, it is a fairly standard blue Ezreal build. And to be honest, I don't know about you, but I tend to see that Spirit of the Old Blizzard less and less on an Ezreal now. Looks like Graves is going pretty hard onto this Ezreal. Takes a chunk of damage from Buckstop. It looks like an ulti coming up from the Wukong. So Wukong uses decoy, and then he uses his ultimate at the turret. Malphite has to flash out. He takes an extra bit of turret damage. Unfortunately, he takes the turret for a little bit too long, but Rectal is chasing him down. And can he get the kill? Can he get the kill onto Wukong? Has his Sunfighter Cape and Dominus up, and that's a killing spree over to Renekton. But it does mean that Wukong got a kill back onto the Malphite. Malphite did not have a spree to shut down, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, Malphite had 2 kills, so there was that extra 60 gold. So he gets 360 for it for Wukong, who's now worth 300 after the reset. But Renekton is going to take the majority of this turret down, if not all of it, as well as all
Looks
of
like
that.
he's engaged in bot lane, and Graves just blows his ultimate onto the Ezreal, who's left with about 200 HP, really taking low. Looks like they're just bullying him out while he has the disadvantage of just getting into that blue build. Graves has picked up his BF sword, will have that auto attack damage, doing crazy amounts for at this point in the game.
Zac looks to be coming down now.
Zac's going to try and
turret.
Ezreal has picked up a Brutalizer and Muramana. Interesting that he's gone for Brutalizer. I never tend to see that on Ezreals. I don't know about you, Theory.
No, can't quite work out why you go Brutalizer. Maybe he's going for the Black Cleaver to eliminate the armor from the Graves passive, but I really can't quite work it out.
His Qs do the armor shredding that the Black Cleaver provides. Ahri just going up top lane does look like Renekton is going to meet her because he's knows that she's coming. Renekton has just got into the brush. He's going to stun her. Use Ruthless Predator. He's got red, but he uses Cold on Me. Ahri uses Charm. She's got a Foxfire up. Has she got her ultimate up? She will be able to get away when she needs to. Does just ultimate over the wall after Renekton had used both Slice and Dice and couldn't follow up. But it does look like Malphite getting into the jungle, looking for a bit of vengeance. Probably just going to back away though, however.
This does mean though that the Orianna now knows she's got a good 30-second window.
Looks like they're going to try and go onto this Wukong turret. It looks like there's nothing left of the turret. They look like he's known that he's going away. Just burnt his ultimate for absolutely nothing, but that's a free turret. I think they were just looking to bully him off the turret and take the free turret for the global gold. Does mean that gold is nearly even. 400 gold in favour of Warwick right now. That's 1 for 0 in terms of turrets. Looks like Lulu is going really hard with Persona. She takes a bit of fair poke for her troubles. Graves just hitting a buckshot, but not actually hitting anyone with it. Ezreal has the Brutalizer for that early damage. Now, I was going to say that, Graves is left completely alone right now. Ezreal going really hard. Hits her with the killing, takes the ultimate onto her. Graves has to use his barrier. Sona is really low. Is Lulu going to go for it? Lulu goes for the kill, but I think it's going to give away 2 kills to Ezreal. Not really what they wanted to do, to be honest.
No, not at all. And that was just a miscommunication by the bot lane. The Graves was left there, there's a ward in that bush that Ezreal hit a Q or 2, and suddenly the Graves was a real spot of bother. The Lulu just came out a bit too late, and the Crescendo locked both of them up, so there was not enough damage to bring either Ezreal or Sona down before they both died.
Yeah, unfortunately Graves has put himself into a really horrific position, to be honest. He got himself stuck right in between the Sona and the Ezreal as the Lulu was leading lane toward. Unfortunately, he has himself to blame. Looks like Zac is going really hard into this Orianna. She tries to hit the charm and the Let's Mount with a flash, but doesn't quite get onto it. Orianna just using the rest of her Spirit Rush to get a bit of damage off onto the Orianna, but great flash out of the charm from the Orianna. Really good reactions. Yeah,
this Orianna's doing a really good job of just farming up the mid lane. She is currently 26 CS ahead. The Ahri obviously roamed a bit earlier and picked up an extra 2 kills. However, when the Ahri last tried to roam, she lost a lot of HP, and that mid turret is sitting on just below a 3rd HP.
Yeah, and actually, 2 kills in the lead, Orianna is only about 300 gold behind the Ahri right now. Ahri has actually decided that she wants to go. Looks like he's going for the Wombo combo with the Malphite ultimate into the Orianna. A shot comes down, and Ahri lands the charm onto Malphite. She's sinking really low. Looks like the Ignite wants to go onto Zac. Probably the wrong time because he can just use his elastic tool to get away, but looks like Ahri is being taken very low. The dissonance using the... Oh wow, and Ahri just using the charm and the Orb Deception to advantage, but Ezreal taking really low. Renekton just coming in with his dominance, getting the AoE damage. I think this is going to be a dead Orianna because Wukong has just come in from the side. Graves managed to get an assist off with his ultimate, just managed to finish off the Zac. Really well played. I mean, all of the teams just collapsing in on each other right there.
Yeah, and that's the power of having this aggressive, this defensive Renekton build.
Looks like Warwick's coming in. He's going to get his armor off onto the Renekton, but the Shadow hits all through, but Warwick comes onto the Renekton. Renekton's claiming the turret for a little bit too long, but it looks like he's running away with just about a sliver of his life there, getting away with a flicker of a crocodile's tongue. But it does look like they're going to sort of back around down to the bot lane.
And as I was just about to say, that Renekton, when he builds that Sunfire Cape, the armor and the health means that towards this mid-game phase, he can cruise down to mid lane and actually sit in between the turrets and tank them really well. He's tanking the turret for a good 10-15 seconds of that fight, and they actually picked up a lot of kills while on under the turret.
Yeah, Renekton doing a great job. His Dominus AoE damage just absolutely crushing anyone that came in his path. However, he's now 5 for 1, and he's not building a carry Renekton, so the 5 for 1 Renekton build a bit odd. Looks like Sona was actually just trying to bait out and engage at the bot lane, because Ahri was in position to come down and Ezreal was coming back into the lane, but I don't think anyone's going to fall for it. And it does look like Ezreal's starting up this dragon with no one to really contest it. Zack's coming in, or Ahri's coming in, and no one is really there to help contest it from the Warwick side. It's going to be a chunk of global gold going in favour of Imperial. Imperial are keeping in this with just the dragons that they're taking.
Yeah, and Malphite didn't have his ult right there for another few seconds, so he couldn't contest that dragon, try and smite steal it. They just decided to let it go. That is the problem with Malphite ulti. At the early stages in the game, though, we are 20 minutes in right now. The cooldown on it is huge. You know, Zack, on the other hand, his knockups up every 5 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's just, I mean, Graves going in the spot lane, trying to get a bit of damage off of the edge, take a really, really low. Both Little Lance and Malphite over comes onto the edge, taking an extreme low, there's going to be a free kill over this Graves. Really great play to just try and play out the fight while the Malphite was coming into lane. Graves, managed to get his smoke screen, combine it with the Glitter Lance for an extreme slow onto Ezreal. That means Malphite was in position to get in. Sona actually didn't have flash and got away with it, but oh wow, Renekton went really hard on top lane and got 3-man ganked by the Zack, the Ahri, and the Wukong. Probably overextending a bit, being 5 for 1, probably thinking that because the bot lane action, everyone was going to go ahead and try and get that round, but it's going to be a free turret for the bot lane.
So in order to get that kill onto the Renekton, fine, it was a great shutdown. They had to blow all 3 ultimates to make sure he didn't escape there. That just shows how tanky he is right now. Sona just warding off the bot lane, you know, making sure that Ezreal can continue farming. At the minute, the Malphite's really taking advantage of the lack of wards, and even though the Sona has a sight stone, I can only see one of those wards being put to great use right now, and not in the tri-brush either.
Yeah, I mean, the ward coverage for Imperial is basically covered their Wraith entrance and the Dragon, whereas Warwick have ever so slightly more. I mean, to be honest, both teams have pretty lackluster ward coverage. Neither of them putting out a great. Looks like a child going down the Orianna. Orbit Deception and Foxfire hitting her, just taking away a bit of a HP. But Orianna has picked up that Fiend's Unholy Grail, so that's 40 magic resist in favour of her, so she's not going to be taking as much damage as she would have been. Ahri did not burn her Deathfire Grasp either, so not too much going down there. Malphite just warding out the blue buff, so that's another ward going in trying to get a bit more map control in favour of Warwick. They just need to keep using the Malphite ultimate every time it's up. Don't you agree, Theory?
Yeah, you know, that ultimate is destructive, especially coupled with the Orianna ulti. We haven't actually seen the Orianna join many team fights apart from that one at mid. So when they start to work towards those objectives, start to work more of the dragons and the barons, that wombo combo is going to be destructive, and at every opportunity they want to make sure both ultimates are up at a similar time, you know, using one then the other, just not as destructive of having a double knock up.
Yeah, Malphite looking like he's building towards the standard jungler build these days, which is Ancient Golem into the Runic Ball. But unless we've got engaged at top, Renekton and Pokemon Dominus. Wukong still has his ultimate up, and Zack is coming out to try and duke this out. But Renekton going really, really far into this. He pops the Ignite onto Wukong. Malphite's coming down. He's got his ultimate. Is he going to be able to get there? He managed to use Golem onto Zack. Bit of an odd target. Let's Bounce comes out onto Zack. There has been changes to Zack recently that he doesn't get tenacity from Let's Bounce. Ahri did manage to land a charm, and no one actually not taking down from that fight. But this could be a free turret because all 5 men have rotated to this top lane turret.
The Wukong there actually getting chunked an awful lot by Renekton's AoE, let alone his auto attack damage. So Renekton right now is tanky, deals a ton of damage. What are they going to do to counter him?
Well, I think you can't focus him. You just need to try and CC him, try and take down the squishy targets, ignore the Renekton as much as you can, and then just try and go for quick burst team fights, which is what they have with the Wukong and the Ahri with the Deathfire Grasp. Wukong actually sacrificing a damaging build for that Sunfire Cape, and looking like he's now going towards Blade the Ruined King. Renekton has just finished up his Black Cleaver, so really he's going to be doing incredible amounts of damage if he manages to get that Armor Shred off from his Slice and Dice, and the Armor Shred with the Black Cleaver on top of that.
And now there's an odd build going on from Wukong. He's gone for the Bilgewater, he's got the Black Cleaver. I'm not quite understanding it right now. He's wasted some money on home guards already because he's too worried about how quickly the Renekton's pushing. It's a bit all over the place, and while it's going to get that great CC from the ulti, you do need some damage coming down from the Wukong along with this team.
He managed to pick up a couple of kills in that last team fight, so he's not doing too bad for damage. Looks like Wukong is going to get caught out by the Renekton again. Renekton has known his easy decoy. He's going to follow him up. Don't know if he can get Ruthless Predator on. Wukong did just use the Bilgewater Cutlass to slow him down. Renekton is just going to get forced back to farming in lane, but Renekton is currently 199 CS to Wukong's 184, so it's not actually as bad as I was thinking. I mean, the gold difference between the two is, well, actually slightly in favour of Renekton by 40 gold. So really they're completely equal. And that's just because Wukong's getting bailed out by the global gold that they're going to pick up for Renekton getting caught out by all three again. Zac, Ahri and Renekton, Wukong all catching out. There's another kill going into Ahri. Renekton just being too cocky, pushing himself too far into their jungle.
And they're trying to trade off with the Ezreal. I can't see the Ezreal escaping here. Graves coming in with the red buff. Dealing damage down, buckshot. Lulu ulti is Graves for some reason, and Ezreal's doing a great job of juking. The Malphite ulti has to come in to bring him down. And that's two ultis in order to bring down the Ezreal.
Yeah, Ezreal did actually burn his flash. Ezreal did actually burn his flash really randomly to get on the other side of Graves. I don't know if you saw that. I'm not sure what that was trying to achieve. It started to free dragon going over to the purple side, so probably in essence was worth it now. But yeah, odd choice of flash from the Ezreal there. I don't know if you agree with what he did, but that's going to be a turret retaliation coming over to Imperial. So Warwick doing a good job of picking up the dragon, but then losing a turret for it in the meanwhile.
And Imperial right here, I believe they had the last dragon, so they actually had that dragon timer over Warwick. I don't know whether I'm correct in saying that. I'm pretty sure. So it's odd that they let them have that dragon free. They knew they just used a huge cooldown on the Malphite and the Lulu. If they decided to engage with the Ahri, the Zac, and potentially bring that Wukong down to finish, they could have perhaps held off that dragon and not sacrificed so much gold there.
The thing you need to note here is who's got their flashes up. Everyone bar Renekton has their flash up on the side of Warwick. However, Zac and Ezreal do not have their flashes up for Imperial. Zac is great in positioning with Let's Bounce and Flash, and Ezreal has Flash and Arcane Shift to get a double escape out. So if they force a team fight now, I think that Warwick are in a better position. And Graves has nearly finished his Phantom Dancer.
Ezreal has just finished, well, just about, I believe. Can't be far off. His Mana Moon is at 684 stacks out of 750. So once that gets into the Miura Mana phase, he deals a crap ton of damage right there. Yeah,
I mean, Miura Mana obviously adding the damage on top of your Q as well, which gives him an incredible poke with the Iceborne Gauntlet as well. It's the fabled Blue Ezreal build. Does look like they're gearing up for a Zac engage onto 5 of them at the moment. Just look, he's going to get in there. He gets in, he gets Let's Bounce off. Ezreal armor comes off. Look, Kendo comes onto Lulu. Wukong managed to use his armor. Graves was stuck in the middle of it, but unfortunately all of that went onto Lulu. Graves is now sitting there, gets a little bit too involved. Doesn't quite use his auto attack Moon properly, and that means he's going to be sat on top of the area. Unfortunately, puts himself well into the middle of the fight. Unfortunately, it was just Renekton that was doing all of the work right there. Ezreal doesn't have his flash up, so it does mean that a free kill going over to Renekton, but he's going to be re-picked up by the Zac, and that's going to be Malphite just suiciding himself, and that's going to be really a 3 for ace engage. 2 for ace engage, even, sorry, 3 for left. And it looks like Malphite's going to try and back in the middle of the base, but I don't know if there's anything that the blue team can do about it. Imperial just going to push on for that turret. Really, to be honest, poor positioning from Graves right at the end there. He was in a good position, and unfortunately, I think he just messed up his attack moving and walked straight right into the middle of the Ahri. And Ahri just managed to get the burst off with her Deathfire Grass. Doesn't look like he's going to try and defend this with home guards, but I'm not sure a Malphite by himself can defend. And it looks like they're just going to take that turret and back out. Really great engage, really, for the favour of Imperial.
Yeah, it was greatly set up. You know, the coverage, actually, I'd have thought would have spotted that Zac engage, having a ward right by the race. However, he must have just snuck in without them noticing.
Yeah.
The Renekton didn't manage to do his job right. He didn't manage to get onto the Ezreal, and he'd been far better off there just defending that Graves. Quite honestly, he didn't manage to assassinate anyone until right at the end when he took down the Ezreal.
Yeah,
the Ezreal was allowed in and to take out a good couple of targets right there.
They just didn't manage to combo their ultimates properly right there, and unfortunately that was just a problem. And it looks like Lulu's getting caught out here. Ezreal really following up. Graves coming up to bail her out. Lulu just trying to go a little bit too balls deep with her oracles, trying to cover as much of the map as she can, but unfortunately just coming straight into the grasp of a blue Ezreal. And once you get caught by blue Ezreal, it's very hard to escape. It looks like they're trying to go onto this Wukong. Malphite does his ultimate, uses it onto the Wukong. Wukong hasn't got decoy just yet. Relax gets through the close drop, but Wukong managed to use his ultimate to escape. Decoy will be coming up very, very shortly, and that's really just an ultimate for an ultimate. But Malphite ultimate is a far more important than Wukong ultimate in terms of Imperial team fight. Looks like Renekton's completely caught now. He's in a 4-for-1 right now. Ari is there as well. She misses her charm. I think she's going to go down. Uses a Spirit Rush. She uses a Death Eye Grass. Renekton pops Dominus. Tries to get away, but unfortunately wasted ultimate in Renekton's eyes right there. Because that's another kill going over to the Ari. And this is how important Ari has been in all of the fights that we've seen today. Ari has been an incredible, incredible pick for anyone that seems to have picked her. Does look like Zac's trying to go onto this Lulu. Lulu just uses the help picks to get away. Obviously gives you self a big boost in movement speed. Malphite oddly looks like he wants to pick up this red buff. Why is he not giving it over to Graves? I'm not quite sure. Maybe he's just worried that it's going to get stolen away by the blue team. Looks like he's going to go up and rotate and take this Wukong down. Not sure he's going to have the damage. I mean, you can't really beat a Wukong as a Malphite. He looks like he's going to keep going with the red buff though. Wukong does have decoy up. Will he get away with the decoy? He does use the decoy to get away. Very, very well played. Great place to use decoy. Any Wukong players will know that using it in a brush is a great place because you don't know which way the brush is going to go, so it's a bit of a lottery. Does look like everyone's rotating top. Ari did manage to get a hell of a lot of damage off Lulu. Lulu is being a bit of a beating, a punching bag for the Imperial team right now, but not actually giving away too many kills. Looks like they're all going to go onto this Malphite, and Ari uses the Death Eye Grasp again. Lulu actually ults herself. I don't think she meant to do that. Renekton comes in, gets a stun onto Graves is way in the wrong position right there. Managed to get stunned up by the Crescendo, but no one capitalised on it. Ezreal was still in the bot lane. Yeah, a bit of a mishmash right there. I said thingy, I meant Malphite, obviously.
Malphite, just there, just getting caught out of vision, chasing down on someone. Zac landed a brilliant elastic slingshot, and then the Aerie tried to assassinate that Malphite. He had to use one of her Spirit Dashes in order to avoid that command Shockwave by the Orianna, which really altered that team fight right there. So it was a really good play from the Orianna, but both teams not managing to pull out a target right there.
Yeah, and Imperial slowly slipping into the lead right now. They're 6k gold in the lead, and really only one turret up. So I'm not sure what Warwick is doing wrong here, but they just lost a lot of gold from somewhere. And it does look like the dragon has respawned and Malphite has started it. I don't know if Imperial are going to be in a position to deal with this. I think Ezreal knows that it's up. He's got a couple of Mystic shots onto it, but that's a free dragon over to Warwick and doing a little bit to claw back the gold deficit in their favour. Does look like Renekton is being chased down by the Wukong. Not sure much is going to happen from it. Sunfire Cape just aggroing the Wraiths. Renekton just trying to bully him away, but I think Renekton's in a bad position again here because if he gets caught wrong, it means that Ari can just come and use a Death Eye Grasp, and we all know how many times Renekton's been caught out here. Is it me, or has Renekton been on the losing team for every team so far?
It seems that way. I mean, what I think particularly I've spotted is happening right here is that the Lulu, Orianna and Graves seem to be grouped on their own, and then the Malphite and the Renekton seem to be elsewhere, and as soon as one action is taken by the blue team, the others aren't in a position to actually do anything. So Renekton has been in 1 versus 3, 1 versus 4 fights twice or thrice already, but Graves and Orianna have just taken it back and had to buy items, so they've not been able to stand mid, take a turret in trade for the Renekton death. So Renekton's just been being pushed behind and further behind, and the Wukong can happily 1v1 him.
Yeah, and Wukong gets scarier and scarier into this late game. He's picked the Blade of the Ruin King up, he's picked Black Cleaver up. Black Cleaver will pop any time his ultimate hits someone, so that's crushing damage. It looks like he's going to try and go toe-to-toe with this Renekton. He has now got Blade of the Ruin King, he's doing a hell of a lot more damage. Orianna gets taken down. There's a big team fight going on here. Wild Growth goes onto Lulu. Graves is getting caught out. Arnie just gets taken down. There's another kill going over to the Graves. She just has flash out of the way. Looks like they're getting absolutely crushed, and Renekton was just 1v1ing this Wukong at top, and I don't know whether he's going to get away with it. I think he's chasing him down, but I think he's resigned to the fact that they're going to lose this game.
Yeah, I mean, that was just an awful spot to be caught with an Ezreal and an Ahri. You're never going to be able to out-escape them there. And the Zac just, with that huge let's bounce, just locking up their whole entire team there for the Ahri just to work her way around, kill the Graves off, and pick off the enemy team.
And it's nearly a 10k gold advantage for Imperial right now. They're going to pick up this outer inhibitor turret, and maybe even inhibitor. They've still got like 14 seconds on most of the important members. Lulu is up, but she's got home guards rushing in. Orianna has got home guards, doesn't have home guards. She's not going to make it there in time, but Lulu is enough to ward them away. And I think they're going to back away without taking too many risks right here. But Ahri doing incredible work in both of these games, to be honest.
Yeah, she's just got that ability to work her way around the team fight. The Orianna really relies on hitting the skill shot. That one big command shockwave, and quite honestly, the Malphite hasn't got himself in positions for that combo to be really effective.
Yeah, Wukong just clearing out the Baron. It looks like Imperial are going to look to turn the screw by taking basically almost an uncontested Baron here. It does look like Ezreal just get a bit of damage. Nice to duke out of the buckshot with his arcane shift. Graves didn't actually take any counter damage. The Lulu shield actually shielding for quite a lot. Zac is quite big right now. Zac's got a lot of health. He's going to be scary coming into these team fights. He's got the oracles. Look, he's going to be clearing up, and looks like they're going to rotate round. I think they're going to want to take this Baron, because I think after they take that Baron, it's going to be basically GG. However, Orianna with a Malphite combo can still turn the game. They're not that far behind that a good Baron fight can't turn it from. Renekton doesn't know anything. He looks like he's going to get slowed down by the Sona. No one is there to back it up, though. They want to get a charm onto Lulu, but it's just missed.
And right now, they've not actually managed to take that middle inhib, so provided they keep that lane pushed, the Blues are going to have to constantly show where they are in order to push it back. Otherwise, they can possibly...
Looks like Renekton's going really full speed onto this Wukong and Zac, but it's not the best target for Renekton to be caught out by. Looks like Lulu's getting taken really, has to play her wild growth on something. Charm goes down into it. Nibber Strike just finishes her off right there, and it's going to be a free inhibitor because I don't think anyone can catch up with her. That's basically, unfortunately, Renekton just looking like he was in the wrong position at the wrong time, gave the excuse to burn their stuff onto Lulu because unfortunately no one was there to try and support her. Lulu got caught out by a charm and the Ezreal Mystic shots just slowing her down with the blue build that he has. He is going to walk past this turret. He's going to use Arcane Shift to get to the minions. He's going to just get a bit of health back from his essence. It looks like they're going to go onto the Renekton. Renekton wants to try and deal with him. So they're trying to get a good position for Shadow. Luke manages to use his ultimate, gets across all of the people. He's not really doing any damage. Zac goes in and lets bounce. Hits the Orianna. Shadow comes across the Malphite. He uses his ultimate to try and escape. The 5-man shockwave, but unfortunately too little, too late. And Orianna getting taken down by the Spear Rush. Graves is the only one alive. I think he's going to get taken down by the Sona. Yeah, her Sona just uses it with the passive on her Q. Lulu is still up right now, but Zac is not going to get taken down. He still has his passive up, and I'm not sure Lulu is going to get a kill out of this. She uses her exhaust, and I think that's another kill going over to Sona with her Q.
Yeah. I think we're going to see the GG here. I can't see them defending.
Yeah, I think 30 seconds it's going to be GG. Yeah. No real magic with this items coming out from the Renekton. He was facing a lot on this Wukong, who actually looked fairly tanky at the start. But well, GG to Imperial. They really showed why their team comp was a lot better than Warwick's, and to be honest, just those global objectives that they were taking really pushed them into the gold lead, and it meant that Wukong was not too far behind the Renekton because of the global gold he was receiving. So that's 1 point over to Imperial. We've got another game for you guys coming up next between Imperial and Warwick again. We'll have the side switched over, so Warwick will be playing on the blue side this time, Imperial on the purple side, and we'll see if Warwick can turn it around because it wasn't too far behind between the two.